practice of praying with icons is of veritable antiquity. People have been, as we will learn in our theology and history sessions, praying with icons since the earliest centuries of the church. Icons bring a sense of the presence of God and of God's love to our lives. And if you think about it, in many ways for Western Christians, words are our icons. Our Christian tradition cherishes, for example, the words of the Lord's Prayer, and the prayers of our denominations, whether spontaneous or written, shape our theology, our worship, and our Christian identity. And hymnody. We love hymns. Hymns are prayer words set to music. And whether it's an old favorite like Amazing Grace by John Newton or a newer favorite like Here I Am to Worship by Plus One, hymns inspire strong religious feelings in us. Icons can do the same. And don't forget the scriptures, the Word of God. People have been praying the Psalms for well over 2,000 years. And biblical texts move us to prayer when we read them alone or in worship or hear them in sermons and Sunday school classes. Our tradition is composed of words. Biologically speaking, if words are used, we're engaging the Broca's area of our brain's left frontal lobe and the auditory cortex of the left temporal lobe. From a biological point of view, when looking at icons, we use the visual cortex of our brain's left and right occipital lobes. And it may well be that over the centuries, the many different ways that we have developed to pray relate to the use of the many different parts of our brains. Finding ways to pray that use more than just words might be a way to use more of our brain, to dedicate more of ourselves to prayer. So when we use icons in prayer, we are using different emotional and mental pathways because icons are visual, not verbal. To put it another way, icons pass our eyes, and if we think about them, they go through our minds and sink to our hearts. Praying with icons can help us develop further pathways to the heart, where we may welcome the divine and allow it to transform us. Icons can bypass our chattering minds. They can help us be still inside. They can help us see the presence of Christ within us. And sometimes it is very important to turn off the word factory in our heads. Let's take a look at the icon of Christ from the 13th century at Mount Athos. As we sit with this icon, it evokes a sense of peace and serenity. It's easy to be drawn into Christ's eyes. It's a beautiful icon. And it's easy even to imagine the monks of Mount Athos meditating before this icon. After we sit and gaze prayerfully at the icon, we can start to analyze it. We notice that Christ is holding a book of the Gospels, the story of his life in the flesh. We know that Christ is present to us in the Word. His right hand is raised in blessing. This style of icon is called Christ Pantocrator, or Christ the All-Powerful. And the message the icon seems to be giving us is that Christ's power is displayed in his life in the flesh and in the act of blessing. Isn't that a powerful message? So the question the icon leaves with us, and the question I'll leave you with, how has Christ's power been displayed in your life? How has Christ's power been displayed in your flesh?